welcome to Performance Anxiety on the Pantheon Podcasts Network. I am your host, Mark, and we welcome Kelly Hogan, Nora O'Connor, and Casey McDonough of the Flat Five. Now, the best way to describe this band's music is familiar but surprising. They write nostalgic sounding songs with lyrics about big bags of dope, kazoos, Hot Wheels, and peeing on the side of the road. Kelly, Nora, and Casey were a blast, even though we did have to fight through some connection problems. But they love playing music with each other and just enjoying their connection and their company, and it really shows. And then we have a hat fight. Follow them on social media, but make sure it's the Flat Five from Chicago. And you can follow us at Performance ANX and check out the other great shows on the Pantheon Podcast Network. And if you like our show, consider buying us a cup of coffee on coffee.com. That's ko-fi.com/performance anxiety. There's no subscription or commitment necessary. And now let's jump right into the show with Kelly Hogan, Nora O'Connor, and Casey McDonough of the Flat Five from Chicago.
Hi, everybody. This is Casey McDonough.
And I'm Scott Legan. And I'm Kelly Hogan, and we represent the Flat Five Chicago, USA. And you're listening to Performance Anxiety Podcast. CEO.
With Alex Hall.
I was just like, yeah. I was working at my other job, and I looked down, and it was 6:11, so I just did a Smokey and the Bandit over country roads back to my house. So.
Awesome.
Trying not to hit a deer. How are you guys?
Great.
Hanging in.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. This is a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
you're welcome.
Okay, 3-part harmony then.
Beautiful.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm not sure how that'll work over Skype, but we'll try it.
We've tried for 7 months now to sing with each other on Zoom and stuff, and it doesn't work. So.
It does. I haven't.
It's not going to happen.
I have not used Zoom very often for this show, and in fact, I'm not even sure if I've ever actually used it for this show. I've offered, and I've got it. Nobody's taken me up on it. It's usually
we're Zoomers. We actually started Zooming almost once a week since March. Just we had one band meeting and we're like, well, let's just hang out. So we've been Zooming almost every single week. So we're Zoomers now.
That's awesome.
But it was nice. We had to relearn Skype, so it was fun. Our practice Skype was fun. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, I've got every option available. I think I have every single platform you can use for this. FaceTime, Zoom, Skype, Duo, WhatsApp. And I'm not getting money from any of those, so I'm going to shut up and stop talking about them.
Right.
So, the way I normally start this off is to find out how you guys got into music in the first place. So, I'm not sure how you guys want to do this. We can take it one at a time and find out a little bit about your background. So let's start with the biggest person on my screen right now, Casey.
Hi.
How did you get into music? I mean, did you grow up in a musical family, or?
I did. Yeah. My mom played. She doesn't really play anymore, but my mom played guitar. She took lessons at the Old Town School when I was a kid, and we lived in Old Town. And my oldest brother also took lessons there. My other brother also could play a little bit, and my dad was a giant record collector and a record fan. Oh, and we also had a player piano growing up, so there was there were records being played, and pumping my little legs, and I'd hang off the rail of the piano because I couldn't reach if I sat down. That was the only way I could reach the pedals. So I've sort of been making music in one way or another all my life.
How did you decide to get into it professionally?
There was never another option.
Oh,
there was just never going to be another choice.
Well, how old were you when you started playing out publicly with other bands and stuff?
I've been playing in bands. I mean, kind of. I was in a band with my brothers and a couple of neighbors. Shout out to Mark and Jason Walker. Yeah. We had a band called Ecology, man. Like in 1973. It was pretty heavy stuff for a 6-year-old, but but I guess I've been in bands playing in front of people probably since 6th grade or junior high school and getting paid for it.
Wow.
To one degree or another since maybe I was 16.
Oh, wow. All right, Kelly, first of all, what are you drinking? Because it looked delicious.
Well, it's 2 kinds of Franzia box wine on ice mixed together.
Nice.
That's my girl right there.
Pinot Grigio. My unemployment for the pandemic, I've gone down 2 notches on my box wine. I have to go to like Corbett Canyon, it's all over, but I'm in Franzia land. And so, it's Franzia, like red blend and Pinot Grigio. And it makes it better than either separately.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I put a lime in it and then it's totally fine.
It's
so
almost
that's
it's almost like a boxed sangria.
Yeah, it's like a rosé kind of thing. And it's in my Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, weather capital of the world mug.
Nice.
That makes it all. So that's what I'm having. What are you having?
I have, so this is part AHA sparkling water, black cherry, and coffee. Mm-hmm. And then the other part is Buffalo Trace White Dog.
Wow. So like black cherry and coffee flavor together?
Yes.
And that's interesting.
White Dog, which is a weeded mash.
Okay. I see that.
Which is fantastic. Anything by Buffalo Trace, I will drink my face off with it.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace don't mess around. You're right.
They are fantastic. So Kelly, all right, remember the first time I remember hearing you was actually on a Bloodshot Records compilation for A Decade of Sin.
Oh, yeah.
Chicken Road.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That was actually with Scott Ligon from Flat 5 played on that.
Yeah.
That was my band. I had a jazz band called The Wooden Leg that played at the Hideout every week for supposed to be a month, and it lasted a couple years. And it's a Tennessee Ernie Ford song that Rob Miller, president of Bloodshot, showed me on this weird record. Like, we had the hardest time finding the publishing info because it was like, I don't know what they did.
Once I got a splinter in the joint of my little toe, and a garter snake bit my knee by the bend of the little St. Joe. Honey, that's Missouri, the land of the dust and the toad. Wonderful town, Chicken Road.
That was really fun. That song is so weird.
Yeah.
It's like some Faulkner short story. It was really, Scotty and then Joel Patterson and I think Kevin O'Donnell on drums from Andy Bird's band.
There's a lot of weird stuff on that compilation. That was a great comp. I love that. So how did you get into music? What started your trip?
My mom said I could sing whole songs before I could say complete sentences. Like, I just had, the radio was always on at our house, or a record player. I don't come from a musical family at all. I'm the only freakazoid but nobody plays anything. Everybody likes music, to lesser degrees, but like radios were always on. So, and my mom used to put on Tom Jones records, and I loved Tom Jones, and I would like pull myself up in my diaper on the console and like Tom Jones. So, and then I loved music. I loved Buck Owens and the Monkees, and I got my own record player in kindergarten because I kept slamming my fingers in the big like 60s coffin console. Like, I would rock on it and then the lid would slam down. So they got me my own record player when I was 5, I guess, and then my own records. And then I was super shy though. I was a super nerd, like always reading books, and secretly I like to sing. Well, then I got a Kmart record player maybe in 5th grade for Christmas, and like an upgrade that had an 8-track, like 8-track part, but it also had a microphone that attached in like an aux in, like really like we used to hold it on our heart and hear our heartbeat, or hold it on our butts and hear like and so. But then so we would play DJ, but then when nobody was around, I'd sing to my records, and then I got fever. So I don't know, I just sang. But the first time I sang in public, I was at summer camp in 5th grade or 6th grade, and I used to lead the sing-alongs at camp at night because I knew I could just remember songs. I could just remember all these songs. Yeah. And my tent mates stole my clothes when I was in swim class and refused to give my clothes back for a couple days until I agreed to sing at the going home ceremony when the parents came. Because I was like, no way, man. It was too scary. Like, I was too afraid. But I finally acquiesced to get my clothes back after 3 days in a damp bathing suit. Oh, my God. Little mushrooms in Georgia summer. But yeah, so I sang memories from the way we were, barefooted, like to 200 brownies and Girl Scouts and their parents. But it was good because it emboldened me. And when I went back to school, I tried out for chorus. And then after that, it was just like, I just kept on going and started singing in bands on the sly in high school because my dad's a policeman. So if you're a policeman, you can lie real good. So I started singing in bars with. I didn't drink or anything. I didn't want to do anything like that. I just wanted to sing. Yeah. So I started singing with. At the time, I was like, oh, it's these old jazz dudes. They were probably 29 and just jazz standards and stuff like Ellington. I was really into. Excuse me, I let my dog out. Into Billie Holiday and stuff like that. So. Oh wow. There you go. Well, I was really into Van Halen and AC/DC, which is great. And then my friend Kenneth in 10th or 11th grade, he came to school and he handed me a Billie Holiday double set on Verve. And I was like, what's this for? And he said, I'm saving you from yourself. Oh. And got me into that trajectory too. And I sold all my heavy metal records to this guy in homeroom for $5, and I've been rebuying them ever since. Clapper down and, man. And all that. What an idiot. I was just like, I do jazz now. But yeah, anyway.
That happened with jazz, though. I've heard that with a few people big into jazz.
I just got into it.
Yeah, you get the fever and then you just get rid of everything else. And you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah, I did. It was jazz, and then I was really into B-52s. I love them. And being from Atlanta, like you could go see them. So then you get the Fox and stuff. So that's my story.
All right. So Nora, how did things start for you?
I think similar to these other cats, I just grew up. There was a lot of music in the house. My dad is a good Irish singer, but nobody else in my family plays music, but we always had records. And, I just listened to the radio all the time and memorized words to every song and picked up tennis rackets and hairbrushes and was performing in front of the mirror for years. And then I did musical theater in high school, which kind of got me taking singing a little more seriously. And then in college, went to SIU in Southern Illinois and kind of got in with a lot of the locals. And there was a huge bluegrass scene there. So that's when I really kind of found my rootsy angle in music. And I learned how to play guitar, and I sang in a lot of vocal bands. And, and it's just, I've just been in a ton of bands over the year. I've been singing with Kelly for longer than I haven't been. So years.
Is that true? Oh yeah, maybe so. We got thrown together in Andrew Bird's band to sing backup, and I remember starting to sing, and I was just like, wanted to grab her hand and be like, never leave me, never leave. If you have a blend with somebody, you'll like do anything. You'll be like panhandling. I need $5 to get to Nora. Yeah. So it's one reason the Flat Five, even though we're all like busy with a million other things, we just can't, our blend is it's a rare thing to have like really symbiotic relationship with these people where somebody can just start singing, Monday, and everybody just like we know all the parts, or, just anything. And we would do anything to be next to each other. Like, we love our practices. If we played a show and nobody came, we would still play the show because we practice for like 5 or 6 hours and we have so it just seems like it goes by like that.
And that's the thing. I could spend an entire show talking about the people you guys have all performed with and worked with.
We're whores.
Yeah. But high class.
Well, sometimes. But yeah, so yeah, Nora was singing with everybody, and I knew about her, and then got to sing with her, and I'm like, that was it.
So
my side.
So how did there's five people in the band, and how did everybody decide to come together to do this band / project?
It's kind of like a snowball because it kind of started where Scott Ligon and I knew who he was because I'd seen his band, the Heatersons, when I was cocktail waitressing at a club called The Hideout in Chicago. And I'd seen him at his brother, Chris Ligon, and his wife, Heather McAdams, do an annual show called the Chris and Heather's Country Calendar Show. She does a little country calendar, and so 12 acts do every month of the year. And it's always super fun. And so I knew about Scott from that, but I think I was supposed to play either a calendar show or another one of those Heather McAdams shows, and my guitar player canceled at the last minute. So I called Chris to say I couldn't do their show. And he was like, well, wait a minute. My brother Scott plays guitar, and he's right here at my house. Why don't you talk to him and see if you guys can figure this out? And so I talked to Scott for like 20 minutes on the phone, and the set list was all blood relation duets, like Lubin Brothers and Everly Brothers and all these like very, close harmony things. And I got off the phone and my roommate was like, well, do you think you're going to do it? And I was like, well, it's going to either have to work like this or it's going to be terrible. And then he came over, and from the moment we started singing together, it was what I'm talking about, just like when birds all fly together, like a murmuration, like we didn't have to effortless, and it was just joy. And we liked a lot of the same people. We bonded really hard over a performer named Georgie Fame. And so we did the show, and then we just started playing together all the time. And then Nora, we added Nora. We had formed a trio called the Lamentations. And who got that gig, Nora? I can't remember. It was at Hot House. We're supposed to open for Blind Boys of Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Did we get that gig? Did you get that gig? Did we glom on the gig because we're hot?
Maybe both of us were asked, and then we started the trio with Scott and Kelly and myself.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I don't remember how.
That's where we became a threesome, kind of.
Yeah.
It's the Lamentations. We were a gospel band that sang songs that didn't mention Jesus. So we didn't have a long set list. Just the joy in religion without having I play for this team or that team.
Okay.
So, be quiet, please.
Right. And then there were songs that we just wanted to play that we couldn't play as a trio, and Scott had already been playing with Casey, so then Casey came and joined the band. But we weren't the Flat Five. We had a different drummer. We had Gerald Dowd was playing drums with us the first few years, and then we transitioned with Alex Hall became our drummer.
Okay.
Yeah, Gerald is a busy dude. So even though we pretty much only played once a year for the first couple of years we were a band. We play a show in December, like a holiday kind of show, because everybody was so busy. And I was on tour with Nico Case and just gone all the time. And so I think, does Scott still live in Peoria? Like when Scott and I first started playing together, he would commute like 3 hours to come play at the Hideout for tips because we had rabies for each other.
So how did you guys come up with the name Flat Five?
Didn't we have a show, and it it was quick. We needed a name.
Yeah.
It was like,
operating under the Lamentations, and we realized we're not the Lamentations anymore. We have this.
uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh, we lost Nora again.
Oh no, Nora.
Okay, improv. Who can pick that up?
Oh, yeah. I remember standing there like at the hideout going, what are we going to be called? And I was like, okay, there's 5 of us, blah, blah, blah. You know, flat 5 is a chord and music. But later we found out that a lot of 5-member bands had that same idea. There's a whole lot of flat 5s in the world.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of jazz clubs called the Flat 5. And so that's why our website is Flat 5 Chicago, which I kind of dig. Like our business, our LLC is the Flat 5 Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
We like to represent. Hey, she's back.
Yay.
Oh
no.
Uh-oh. Sorry, if we got a message from Nora, it says she won't talk because her connection is bad, so.
But I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just fine. All right, so I think we're back with the flat 3 at this point.
Right.
So, the music is, I mean, I can't say anything other than just brilliant because it's devious. Maybe that's another word for it. Because you guys have these really nostalgic sounding songs. I mean, you've got the Beach Boys on one hand, the Andrews Sisters times, you've got Antonio Carlos Jobim in another song. And the lyrics are like nothing like any of those people would write. And it kills me. I'm listening. The first time I listened, I was at my job and I'm listening to it and I'm just kind of like going along doing my work. And then it finally hit me. I'm like, wait, what in the hell are they singing about? This isn't go get a big bag of dope. What the?
A great big bag of dope.
This is your night. Don't just sit around and mope. Buy yourself a great big bag of dope. It's a world of love and hope. The night is yours. This is your night. This is your night. This is your night.
It was the intent of this band to from the beginning to have such a sharp, wicked sense of humor?
I think it comes out naturally in whatever we're all doing because I think all 5 of us are pretty funny people and all in pretty different ways too. The ways that complement each other similarly to our musical abilities too.
Okay.
But a lot of the humor in the records is going to be from Chris Legan. He writes all the songs. But even when we're performing live and just doing whatever, all kinds of songs, there's a lot of levity. We take the music seriously, but not ourselves at all.
Right.
It shows because the performances, I did see the show from JBTV, and you guys are tight. The music is fantastic. And again, I'm just sitting there listening to the words, watching you guys perform live. How do you guys keep a straight face while you're singing about punching somebody's mother-in-law in the face and peeing on the side of the road? And
I think, but don't you think that's like such a real love song? Like, isn't that like the sweetest Sir Walter Raleigh thing you could do? Isn't that, it's just real. Like, it's just, you don't hear anybody sing about it, but that's remember that time when I had to pee really bad and the trucks were going by?
It is the coat over the puddle.
It is. It's the Sir Walter Raleigh of Birmingham, Alabama. Is you stand guard so nobody can watch you pee on the side of the road. But it is. But like Casey was saying, I mean, the music, our delivery is very sincere. Like we believe in it, and Nora expertly sings that song. I mean, that song brings people to tears. Even though she's talking about hitting your mother. The mother had it coming. So I have a straight face when you do that song.
I couldn't do it. Maybe that's one reason, besides lack of talent, that I'm not a professional musician, because there's just no way I could do that. I would be sitting there. I took improv classes and I still broke after taking a bunch of classes. And it was just, I love it, but I break easy.
That's okay. It's okay, Mark. You're here with us.
The great thing
I don't know. It's just like when you're interpreting a song, it's like you lose yourself in it. You're in it like every time, even though you've sung it a bunch of times, you're in the story. You know, some nights you're not. Some nights if you feel bad, or, you know, your ex-boyfriend's in the audience or something's taking you out of your reality, you know, just something. But yeah. I mean, yeah, Nora, when you sing Birmingham, I don't know, or like I see things when I'm singing, you know, I have visuals of I'm in the song, I'm in the story. So what do you do in Birmingham to keep from laughing?
Then we pulled off the road so I could be. You stood guard so no one else could see. I know it was wrong to hit your mother. She had it coming all the way.
Well, I live that whole story. Whenever I sing it, I can see it all. And I think it would be a really nice thing if someone took cover for me so I can pee. I don't think that's funny. I think that's a really nice thing to do. And the hitting your mother thing is so absurd. But I love the nervous energy I get from the audience when I sing that. You know, some people laugh. Should I laugh? Shouldn't I laugh? Most people laugh. Most people know it's silly and it's funny and it's okay to laugh. So it's always great to feel the reaction to that song.
I just think that song in particular, you can really feel there's the intimacy between the two, you know, whoever the singer is talking to.
Yeah.
That's like so intimate, and it's refreshing, like details, you know, it's not generalities like Moon June and all that stuff. It's very specific. It seems like a real, you know, phone conversation you overheard or something, you know, it's so real. It is. But Chris Legan just has a really twisted, great sense of humor. Yes.
And it's relatable, like you were saying before. You know, it's a relatable sentiment. You know, you did. It's not something super lofty or abstract. It's real.
We were on a gondola in Venice. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I had to pee on the side of the road, and so I just think it's great. But then, yeah, there are, like Nora was saying, sometimes the audience will laugh even though we're delivering it sincerely because we believe in it.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of fun. That's a nervous tension, like she was saying. Right. You're feeling something.
Well, what it did for me was I'm listening to the first album. So I'd heard the new one, but I went back and decided to listen to the first one. And This Is Your Night is awesome. Bug Light. Some Birmingham, all these songs are coming. You're Still Joe, and then all of a sudden, She's Only 5 hits. I'm listening, and I'm at work, so I'm trying to click back and just see what the names of each of these songs are as I'm going through. And I'm like, okay, these songs are very human. She's Only 5. This is getting weird.
Title, isn't it? It's because it can be interpreted lots of ways, but
exactly
right.
So yeah, I was very relieved to find out that it didn't go anywhere that I was afraid it could go because
it's actually because we don't do words, right? Yeah, we just do because the song does have words.
Yeah, it's a very sweet lyric.
Yeah, go ahead, Casey. Tell them.
Oh well, it's a very sweet song about a little girl that I don't know if we need to tell the story, the actual story, or just what the song is about. It's just about a nice kid that you like being around because it's a nice kid.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are, she's only 5. She knows how to drive. She drives me crazy. She opens her eyes and changes the skies to blue from hazy. Swing me higher, Chris.
Yes.
You know.
It's really, Yeah, just about because people can have French. Like I live on a street in this little country town, and I know more kids in the town than I do the adults. Cause I live on the river, and everybody fishes in my backyard. So I have lots of friends that are 10 years old, and I hope people don't think that's weird, but they, right. I do know, like, hey, there's little David and big David and Xander, and so it's like a really sweet little relationship with a kid, like your niece or your next door neighbor's kid that comes over and plays with your dog or something. But yes, the title can be interpreted provocatively.
Not intentionally. It was just after hearing these really wild lyrics, I'm all right.
Oh yeah.
What's going to go on with this one? So
I can see what you're saying that way. Yeah. After Birmingham and all that other stuff, and you're like, oh God, like it's a landmine, or you're opening one of those jars of fake peanuts, and the snake's going to come out.
Exactly, and. Not that I expected something weird to happen, but I was like, all right, this is nice and sweet. This is great. So
yeah,
because there is sweetness in the songs. Like Chris has a bunch. There's lots of sweetness in the songs. So very much so. And then just that really great little twist of, sense of humor.
So does Chris come in with the songs basically fully formed and tell you guys what to do, or do you guys work them out in practices?
Go ahead, Case.
Okay, there's a thing moment going on my street. This guy just stops to pick up his girlfriend, and he turned on his radio, and he's in the street dancing to bring her out. Oh, and she's mad. It's there. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to cut that out.
No,
I'm
gonna leave that in.
In my little town, you can't not be Mrs. Kravitz. So I know that her boyfriend just started working for Vox Karaoke, and he just pulled up in his karaoke wagon, and then he blasted, and then she was like, "Turn it off." Anyway, sorry everybody.
No, that's awesome.
Sorry, it's just a little street life. So anyway, so Chris Legan, Scott Legan, his brother, is in our band, and Chris is Scott's older brother.
Right.
And we, I think, for this record, like it's songs like that maybe some of us knew from some of Chris's records, and then there's some brand new songs, and he usually slides them our way, intact as far as Chris made them, and then we swerve them however we want and hope that we're always, when we send the version to Chris to listen to, we always are a little like, I hope he likes it, but he did. He liked our record. He liked what we did with the songs.
Mm-hmm. But we don't sway from the melody. We do the song the way it's written. We just arrange it the way the Flat Five would,
Okay. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. I'd like to know, how often do you guys actually get together to practice? Because you guys are always... you're busy musicians, always out touring with people and working on projects. How hard is it to get together?
Pre-COVID or post-COVID?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, go ahead, Case.
We were on a pretty hot streak for the last few years. Certainly since the first album came out, we've just all made it a point to clear our schedules and make more time than usual, as we had been, and so we've been trying to get out a few times per quarter, so the rehearsal curve wouldn't be too severe. We're still pretty hot from the last time, and we can always throw a couple of new songs in and pull a couple of older songs out of the backlog and put them back in and keep audiences fresh. But yeah, everything's gone to the, do we still have back burners? I don't even know anymore.
It's in a crock pot. It's in a crock pot back there on the counter. So
just nice stewing, staying nice and warm, kind of.
Which is, it's super sad because we have, this new record coming out, and we can't trying to figure out how we're going to do any sort of album release party, even for streaming, because I live in Wisconsin, and just getting all together and how to do it. But yeah, because we used to just play once a year. Remember that band meeting where we were like, let's play quarterly.
Yeah.
We decided we vowed to play seasons, like 4 times. That was huge for us to commit to. And then it's that sort of ramped up into. Then the first record came out, and then it was as much as we possibly can. Yeah. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Do you guys get a chance to actually tour with the band, with the Flat Five, or is it more of just playing when you can?
I wish we could. It's really, touring in any sort of peanut-sized band is so difficult. It's not, will we lose money? It's how much money we lose. It's really, because I would love for us to tour. There's the schedule issue, but then there's the money issue, but I'd love to and we do regional, like we'll play Madison and Milwaukee, and we've done, Peoria, St. Louis, not Peoria, that's still on the docket. Gotta get big in Peoria. But,
Ohio, and we've been working Milwaukee and Madison really a lot, just trying to get in there because they're so nice and close.
Yeah.
So, but I remember we wanted to go to the West Coast for the last record, let's go. And people write to us on our Facebook page all the time, like, please come to New York, or please play a show here or there, or the UK. It's like,
wow,
please send us $10,000 and we can.
Yeah.
But we saved gig money for 9 months to be able to finance a trip to the West Coast for the last record. And what was that, January of 2017?
Yeah.
And we arrived in Portland the day of the worst blizzard in 40 years. And so our first show was canceled, and we couldn't rent the van. And it was all it went from that to the end. They were we're driving to San Francisco, mudslides. And it was, we ended up playing some shows, but that was,
oh God.
That was arduous. But on our new record, in the liner notes, we thank the West Coast tour saviors who helped us and loaned us equipment, and kept us off the ledge, put us up, took us out for pancakes and that kind of thing. So
Nice.
So we'd like to, but it's really difficult.
Yeah, because I would love for you guys to come out to DC area. I've really, really gotten into both albums since scheduling this, and you guys have really become a favorite of mine, and it's kind of it's unexpected for me. I usually like heavier.
I heard music. In the Matt Wilson podcast, you really liked Metallica and Megadeth. You're like a metal guy. So was I at one point.
I was a huge metal guy in middle school and high school, and then senior year in high school, it was 91, and that's when grunge broke, and then that all bets were off for that. So
right, yeah.
That was when my mania for record collecting began, and 3,500 CDs later.
Oh my gosh!
I'm listening to you guys now. So.
Never say never. It's always evolving. I still blast some Van Halen. I blasted Fugazi this morning. I really love all that old stuff. So yeah.
Then you'll like this show I've got coming out in a couple of weeks. They're they're one of the first producers, Ted Nicely.
Oh yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm excited.
That's like a 2-hour show. So I've got to do some serious editing on that one.
Well, I had my phone in my overall front pocket, so I was out planting this morning, sweating, listening to the second half of the Matt Wilson. So it was great. It was really good. And then it made me have to listen to the Matt Wilson album again. It's so good. So good. Yeah. It's so great. The harp and it's just so I think you guys said, it's refreshing. It is just something you're not hearing a harp and no drums, but then those beautiful Beach Boys harmonies, and we love them.
Which is a similar feeling I got when I started listening to the Flat Five. I'm like, this is so different. And it's even different than the Matt Wilson stuff because, I don't want this to sound bad. It doesn't sound contemporary.
No, believe me, we know.
And that's what I love about it. It's like, this is so different.
I like to taste sugar cake in the morning. I feel so good when I walk out the door. body shakes like Tina Turner's daughter. He runs around the house in just a little top. On his behind you can set a glass of water. He hurly-gullies and don't ever trip a drop.
And it's so nice to hear something that is familiar but different.
Well, I guess when did maybe the last Monday in July, WXRT in Chicago, that's a big station, and they love us, and we love them, and so they were going to premiere our single "Drip a Drop" on the Big Beat, like the new music show on Monday night. Okay. And so I was in the kitchen, doing dishes and streaming XRT, and I'm listening to the show, and it's all this new music and all different flavors of new music. But then it got to now we're going to hear from Chicago's Flat Five, and they played our song, and I just laughed maniacally through the whole thing because it didn't sound like anything. It was the weirdest sensation. There was no like a lot of other stuff is produced so beefy. Yeah. And it was I liked it. It was just the weirdest. It wasn't even just the lyrical content or anything. It was just like da 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 da, and then a little butterfly just floats through. It's with a mustache and drops an Easter egg. Yeah. I just laughed. I could not stop laughing the whole time. They're weird, okay. And it's thanks for playing our record, XRT. I was wondering, are people in Chicago that don't know us going, what the hell is this?
Did I accidentally hit 40s on 4? Or?
After Courtney Barnett or something, and then it's la 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 la. But I like being so weird. I don't know.
You.
We're proud nerds. We what do we say? We love us. We love.
Yeah.
Oh, I love you guys too. And Nora, I want to tell you right now that you played the most emotive kazoo I've ever heard.
Thank you.
Sally went down to Peru with a boy who played lonely music on kazoo through her window.
I worked really hard on that, and I actually played a green kazoo for a while, but it just wasn't working. So now I play the blue kazoo.
Well, it's got to be fitting, right?
It's always fun to play. I always feel the drama when I'm playing that part in that song.
That's another song where
just watching Scott and Casey have to start at the same time. I'm always like, are they going to do it? Because they start the song and each part of the song, and I'm like, they got it. They always get it, but they always get it every time. It's to watch.
All right, so I was listening to the new album, and I wanted to tell you guys that I live in Virginia, so Girl of Virginia was one of my favorites. It's a great song, but the fact that it mentions my state kind of pushed it over the edge for me. And I have 2 daughters, so it was...
Girl of Virginia, I wish I could win ya, and then I could spin ya across the dance floor. We'll face tomorrow in gladness and sorrow in the land where your father danced with you.
Well, and I'll tell you this. 2 daughters and a son, and my oldest daughter and my son, who's in the middle, just got their driver's license yesterday. So,
drink some more Buffalo Trace.
I'm going to. I'm going to crack it open and drink it straight at this point. But
so, are you in DC? Are you in Alexandria or something? Then, where are you in DC proper?
I am in Winchester.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute.
The home of Patsy Cline.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'd heard that for some reason.
Yeah.
I have 2 brothers that live in DC. Okay. And my sister-in-law is from there. They live on C Street Northeast. Okay. But they're actually about to move out near Rixieville. So he's Culpeper. My brother is a pilot, so he has to drive all the time. So they're going to move out there.
Yeah, Culpeper's a lot closer to me than.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
It's cool. Old colonial stagecoach trails all that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a 45-minute commute to work, and it's all horse trails.
Yeah, crazy.
But actually, I love that song. I loved The World Missed Out is a great track. I didn't particularly predict the ending of this song, but the entire time I'm actually supposed to be working, and as it's playing, I'm not working so much, and I'm
You're not an air traffic controller or something, are you?
Not anymore.
Okay.
But
I want to work at something you can be distracted at. So.
I just work in the medical industry. It's cool.
All right, fair enough.
So, but I did find myself stopping what I was doing and just listening to that story, and it was really just kind of grabbed me, and I really love that song.
It's the brilliance of Chris Legan, man. And just it's like Birmingham, just the details of it.
Yes.
And except for the last verse, I think a lot of that's a true story. I think Scott said, that's a sort of a true thing. So just the details from the first time I heard it, and that first verse about, that piece of Hot Wheel track that I chewed.
Yes.
We used to chew the little connectors that look like little tongues, and we would just. If you're as old as me, it's just so. To me, the more specific you get, then the more relatable it is. And then the ending. Maybe we shouldn't even say.
No, we'll let everybody buy the album and figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, it's another sort of, maybe that's a Raymond Carver short story, that song. So, and
that's the first song I've ever heard that referenced Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I don't think I know another Hot Wheels song. I'll have to think about it.
I'm going to tag them in my social media posts with this, so maybe they'll sponsor me.
Yeah, if you can't get Zoom on board, maybe you get some Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels. I'm still trying for Buffalo Trace, and they haven't responded to anything I sent them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I send them a lot. So how long does it take for an album to come together for you guys to rehearse it, record it, and get it out with your crazy schedules pre-COVID?
I'm gonna be quiet when I talk.
Hey, why don't you take this one?
Oh, okay. Well,
if I have to.
Our first one took a lot longer, mostly because of scheduling. There were periods where one or two or three or four of us where we just couldn't get in the same room for almost 10 months.
Oh, wow.
I think shortly after we had started making it. And when we're all together and doing it, we work pretty quick. So I think the first album probably took from the first day of recording till it came out. It was almost exactly 2 years.
Wow.
I think we started in October of 14.
Yeah, that's when the Decemberist stuff started up for me and Nora, and you guys at NQ, Hot and Heavy, and Rico Case on the side. So we were gone. We were
touring a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like Casey said, when we're together, we work really fast and efficient. And with the new record, we decided to go into the Wilco Loft and record as many basic tracks as we could. And
nice.
And that was very successful. I think we got 5 songs down, basic tracks. And, Kelly sang on a few songs that ended up being the final vocal. We didn't touch it. Her scratch vocal was just.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Jeff Tweedy's microphone.
That's right.
And then we did the rest back up at Alex's studio, Alex Hall, our drummer and engineer and sound man. He is a sound man.
He's a genius.
And I think the recording barely took over a year. We were probably done in less than a year.
Really?
This time. Yeah.
All right. I got to change our bio then.
we had to have been, because we haven't been together since
True.
Yeah.
And we didn't start recording the first one. This one
Right, I got to change our bio. I guess I was thinking of the last record. It just seems like we're always apart. But yeah, and when we get together, it's so fun. It's really, I mean, Alex's studio, it's the third floor of this building in Chicago, and it's almost like our clubhouse at this point. We actually
nice.
Flat Five paid for a fancy espresso machine. we're like, we gotta make improvements around here. So yeah, we Alex was like, because we pay him for studio time, but he's like, what if we, get an espresso machine? Bingo. So yeah, but it's.
So it probably took us really a month to make the record over a year.
Exactly.
Fan.
Yeah, from start to finish, from mixing, and Alex mastered it, so it was very in-house thing all the way around, and
He did a really good job kind of mixing. We kind of mixed as we went, and there wasn't a lot of changes from what just his initial ideas that he was coming up with as we were recording.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's because you guys are also professional.
We're all lathered up. I mean, we'd all say, okay, I'll see you later. But, and then Alex would stay. And then by the time each of us got to our houses, he would have sent here's the mixes from today, to listen to, and then let's go from there and change or whatever. So yeah.
And Scott played a big role in that. Scott produced the record with Alex, and he was over his shoulder a lot, coming up with great ideas and arrangement ideas. We all, when we're arranging backup vocals, we're all pretty fast on the same page of what is the right way to sing it and where our voices fall. It happens really naturally. So.
Yeah, no, Scott's got the crazy ears, like the radar ears, and good ideas. And then, and like Nora said, we sort of all fall in like we normally do. And then sometimes we'll mix it up on purpose and just see, and Casey can sing higher than me and Nora. And Casey has, so sometimes we'll flip it up, and even though we can hit those notes, it's like, well, this, if Casey sings this, we just play around. It's really
it's better with Casey's sometimes.
It's just so fun. I mean, that's like the funnest thing I do in my life is to play around with these people who all can do the thing I do, and we play. We play and play. So,
well, with the pandemic kind of putting everything on hold for a while, has that actually changed anything for you guys, since you aren't able to really get together to tour per se? Has it your change? I gotta stop drinking during these podcasts. Have your plans changed at all since the lockdown happened? Yeah.
We ended up, because like Casey was saying, we were hot and heavy, and we were really trying to play a lot, and especially leading up to, we thought our record was going to come out maybe in the summer. That was the trajectory.
Yeah.
Because, the breaks just, and I think when it happens, and we were making a concerted effort, like Nora said, to go back to Milwaukee. And our last show was Milwaukee on February 28th, and we sold out like a good sized venue. So it was like, finally, we're in Milwaukee. And then it's like, and that's the last show you'll play until 2022, so we canceled maybe 5 shows. We had shows on the books into September, and it changed a lot.
Has it changed what you were planning on doing as far as promotion of the record besides live shows? I mean, fortunately, you're available for my podcast, which is great. But is there a social media presence where people can keep an eye on the release dates and hopefully future gigs?
Yeah, we have our Facebook page, Flat 5 Chicago, and then we have our website, flat5chicago.com, and we're on Instagram. I think it's Flat 5 CHI, and Twitter. So yeah, we do all the social media to different extents, and we're ramping that up. And we're doing 3 videos. We're putting out 3 singles in advance of the album, and that's been kind of fun. That's something we've never really done. So
that's probably something different. That I don't know if we would have spent so much time on that kind of content because we would have just been playing live shows. So we've been wanting to make videos. And so this has been a fun, creative outlet for all of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finally, I just kind of wanted to find out a little bit about who you guys were working with before the lockdown hit, individually, besides the Flat Five. Who are you working with when everything kind of came to a halt? And are there plans to pick things up in 2021 with the same artists? I guess we can start with Casey. Who are you playing with?
I do some fairly regular things just around Chicago. Scott and Alex and I have a band with Joel Patterson called the Western Elstons. It plays mostly old-fashioned country music and a lot of Everly Brothers, Reuben Brothers, Delmore Brothers, Davis Sisters.
A lot of relatives.
More relative music. And that band had a steady residency for the last 13 years,
wow.
I think. Every other Wednesday at a place on the north side of Chicago called Simon's. And they've just reopened their back patio, but I mean, they're not talking about, I haven't heard anything about live music happening there.
Yeah.
NRBQ, our last tour was, and Scott and I are also in NRBQ. Our last tour was at the end of January, and then we played a cruise. And,
nice.
And people were just starting to talk about, have you heard about this weird thing, this disease, this virus, like on the ship?
Yeah.
A couple of people had to get off.
Oh, wow.
And that was the last time NRBQ has played together. We closed the cruise. It was wild.
Wow.
It's been really crazy. So I don't think anyone knows when you can expect a band like NRBQ that plays on the road all the time to get back to something like a schedule.
Oh, man. Well, Kelly, what about your situation? Oh.
You tell. Sorry. Eddie Spaghetti's like, don't go on tour, Mom. Don't do it.
Wait, what is your dog's name?
Mom, don't go on tour. So,
what is your dog's name?
I have two, and there's Eddie Spaghetti. Come here, buddy.
Oh my gosh. From the Super Suckers?
Are they what?
From the Super Suckers?
He came named, so I think he just likes spaghetti. Snaggle tooth there. Hi, Ed. Can you say hi?
Oh my goodness.
Very hot.
He looks like a miniature version of my dog.
Really? What kind?
He's a mix, Australian Shepherd and Boxer.
Oh wow, crazy man!
But he's he's a tricolor, so he's awesome. Name is Hammond.
Oh, nice. So he's like Boston Terrier, Chihuahua, Dragon, Chicken, Monkey, Lizard mix. That's a little tuxedo, but yeah. Well, I guess we were playing. I had just remounted a solo band for myself in January. I was like, okay, Hogan, let's do it. Let's do this again. Nora played bass in my band, and we had a huge show at the Hideout, sold out, crazy show on my birthday, and then went to Atlanta, my hometown, and that show was even more nuts, like off the hook, this crazy sold out show in Atlanta.
Wow.
January 17th. And then we were I was just getting, like, Nora and I kind of book most of the Flat Five stuff. And so we were really doing a concerted effort to, like, let's build this. And then Nora and I last year sang with Iron and Wine for 3 shows with 3 different symphony orchestras.
Wow.
And that was, there were supposed to be a couple more of those this year. So that's not happening. So, yeah.
All right. Well, I got a lot of Nora and Kelly's answer. Is there more to add to that, Nora? Oh, I think you're muted.
I am a professional Skyper. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's what editing's for.
The suspense was delicious.
I know. I had to cough, so I muted myself, and then I just didn't turn myself back on. But I have my own band. I play solo shows. I mean, there's so many places to play in Chicago. And, I've been starting to find smaller places to play. Like we've been playing at this wine shop, and other people have started to play there. And I found a gallery, and I've been trying to find like unconventional, like not venues, just like galleries or little shops or different kinds of places to play for small, intimate audiences has been the kind of thing I've been really into. Living room shows, stuff like that, and I was going to jump on the road with Nico Case for a handful of shows in the summer and the fall, and that's all been moved to next year. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows when any of us will travel around, city to city and play in different venues. It's hard to say.
Well, I don't want to end on a sad note like that. So I just want to throw out that this album is amazing. The new Flat Five.
Thanks.
You.
It's so different from everything else out there that it's striking to me. And that's what I loved about it. It's so familiar, yet so unfamiliar at this point. So it was a wonderful, wonderful listen. And I thank you guys so much for letting me listen to it a little early.
Thanks. Well, I mean, we're there's bummer times, but like I said, we started, we've Zoomed almost every single week with each other just to see each other. Casey puts on a fez, sometimes a sombrero. We just check in with each other, and we're
here. I'll put on the shark hat. Here we go.
Casey, he's throwing down the shark hat gauntlet.
Let's see Casey's shark his hat game.
Uh-oh, we've started something. But yeah, I mean, we have hope, and we have, we're, oh my.
That looks much better than my shark.
Oh, is that your hat from The Point?
This is my hat from The Point.
We were in a production of Harry Nilsson's The Point all together in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
I still have my little point hat too, so nice.
I'm gonna have to pull out my stormtrooper helmet now.
I have my hideout cap, and let's see, I've got this is my favorite, my Wisconsiners hat.
Oh, nice. All right, y'all gonna make me do it. Hold on a second.
All podcasts should end this way.
Come on, Nora, where's your hats?
I don't know. I'm sitting in Chris's office, and he usually teaches me that, but there's no hat.
That's awesome.
Merry Christmas, baby.
The problem is I can't really hear you guys very well.
It's all right. It's just me talking pretty much.
All right,
nice.
come off.
Nice. Well, no, thank you for having us on your podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been my pleasure completely. Thank you guys for spending so much time with me.
It's all good.
And
I'm going to go finish watering the yard. It's going to be great.
Baby boy, favorite toy, that piece of Hot Wheel track that I chewed. I was a Hot Wheel track chewing little dude, but the world missed out. The world